Sensors are off too. After you left the bar, I had sex with a nun.
And just like that, the third season of the HBO dramedy, which is still not as humorous as the first Sex and the City, features Carrie, Miranda, and Charlotte. Nevertheless, it makes an effort. The show is a continuation of a tale that had a lot of potential but was somehow wasted by absurd plots and a general lack of curiosity and depth in investigating relationships in one's 50s. This is why I've been critical of it in the past. Therefore, it's encouraging to note that Season 3 of And Just Like That has improved. It's a little funnier, but not in an overtly forced way, and it embraces its silliness without trying to pass for something else.
Hey, you. Oh. Are told it's you again.
At least we've reached a stage when watching an episode isn't a chore, even though I still believe the 45-minute episode runtimes are excessive. The season opener gives every one of its starring females a plot, and some are clearly better than others. Will, Carrie, and Aiden really wait 5 years?
Oh yeah, are you still inside yourself?
Aiden John Corbett had made the decision to return to Virginia to be with his kid after the conclusion of And Just Like That Season 2, and Carrie, Sarah Jessica Parker, had consented to wait a certain amount of time before they resumed their relationship, 5 years to be exact. Carrie is adamant about making it work, even though it's an absurd request for anyone. Carrie will attempt despite being interrupted during phone sex and pretending to have an orgasm. Although I think it's admirable, I watched the episode primarily to observe Aiden's return to New York. He didn't, but it seems inevitable that he will eventually come to the realization that it is unfair to put your relationship on wait for 5 years. Carrie's pals silently concur, but Anthony, played by Mario Cantone, raises the issue, which irritates Carrie, who has previously struggled to take constructive criticism about her friendships. He worries aloud that Carrie might have interrupted him when he subsequently apologizes. When Carrie admits she wouldn't have, Anthony answers, "Wouldn't you?" in a self-aware moment for the show. Had it not been for the hilarious moment and Cantone's flawless delivery of the sentence, I would have been even more surprised. It's a fascinating remark too, given that friendships often end. I wish the episode had gone into more detail rather than skimming the surface, but it was still good that it was brought up. In another scene, Miranda, Cynthia Nixon, hooks up with Mary, Rosie O'Donnell, a nun who confesses to being a virgin before having an affair with our favorite lawyer. Mary, who is in town for work and eager to do all the things a first-time visitor to New York City would do, such as see Broadway's Wicked and visit Times Square, is likewise unable to comprehend that her hookup was a one-night fling. The narrative concludes wonderfully with O'Donnell's Mary echoing the lyrics to For Good from Wicked, while Miranda's ongoing annoyance about this situation is quite entertaining. Charlotte's story is a miss. At the beginning of the episode, Seema, Sarita Chaudhary, and Ravi, Armin Amiri, are still dating, but things immediately take a turn for the worse because Seema is fed up with waiting for his attention, while Ravi is overly preoccupied with his work. It makes sense. However, and just like that, allowed things to fall apart without giving this relationship enough time to mature. I hope Seema has something intriguing planned for this season, but I doubt we'll see Ravi again. Beyond Seema's story, and just like that, introduces Lisa, Nicole Ari Parker, who wants to highlight underrepresented black women in history for PBS, but is informed that the producers want her to also feature Michelle Obama. This sets up what may be a very fascinating storyline for Lisa. How she handles that will be interesting to me, as will whether she fights it off in the end, gives in to the not-so suggestion, or the series eventually abandons it entirely. Charlotte, Kristen Davis, and the entire dog incident are where the show really goes off. She battles a woman who believes Charlotte's dog, Mr. Burton, mauled her dog in the park. Although I don't anticipate any manufactured tension between Charlotte and Harry, Evan Handler, in the episode, is there nothing that needs to be done to improve their relationship? Are their children doing well? Charlotte gave me this absurd story, but I need a little more. Even while the episode isn't bad, it still feels strange without Carrie's voiceovers, which help to tie the ideas together. With the possible exception of Carrie and Seema, whose stories dealt with attention from a relationship, or in Miranda's case, receiving too much attention, each narrative is largely different from the others, which is where the series still fails. I will always miss the original program in that regard, but I am also less annoyed with And Just Like That, which is a positive.